to one of the most rewarding experiences you're ever going to have. Volunteering to build homes with Habitat for Humanity. Now, we could not possibly do this without you, so thanks for joining us. I'm Mag Ruffman. I'm a licensed contractor, and I've worked with Habitat for years because I love the vision that every person can have a safe, decent place to live. Now, you may not be a contractor or even somebody who's used to working on a building site like this, so you might be wondering, how the heck do things run so smoothly and safely on a Habitat site? Well, I'm here to give you the tour, so you're going to have a great day volunteering, and you're also going to know how to use all the tools and equipment that you'll be asked to use on your day of volunteering. So come on. First, you'll receive a volunteer safety handbook and possibly some other valuable safety materials, which will be jammed with helpful information about safety on a Habitat worksite. You will be dying to devour every syllable of this important information. If there's something you don't understand, please flag down a Habitat crew leader and pepper them with questions. The best way to arrive at the worksite is rested, eager, and healthy.
We're gonna make it happen.
You'll receive your official hard hat when you arrive, and our big rule is that you're wearing CSA certified steel-toed footwear. You can accessorize with safety glasses, earplugs, work gloves, dust masks, and fall protection depending on the task you're doing. Dress for the weather too. Light-colored, loose clothing works best in warm weather. And in colder conditions, many layers of warm, waterproof clothing will keep you comfy. But please note that safety regulations prohibit the wearing of shorts. Sorry. When you arrive on the Habitat for Humanity work site, get yourself oriented. At your site, there may be a food tent or trailer with hot coffee and snacks. You'll also spot the rustic but efficient washroom facilities. Hey, was that guy wearing shorts? It's a no-no. And our first aid station where you can find sunscreen, Band-Aids, and qualified medical attention. Oh yeah, here's another huge Habitat rule. Always get first aid for any injury, even a blister or a sunburn. We are really, really proud of our safety record, and we don't want you to be the exception. Your next priority is to join all of the other volunteers for the daily kickoff, where you'll be assigned to a specific supervisor. This person will direct your work for the day and is also responsible for health and safety on site, so he or she will conduct a tailgate safety talk where you'll learn about specific safety stuff related to the work you'll be doing. A Habitat for Humanity worksite is a darn busy place with lots going on. That's why it's so important that you keep aware of your surroundings and stay alert to your coworkers. If you see a tripping hazard or loose debris, it's cool if you take the initiative to keep the site safe. Garbage happens, especially on construction sites. Pitch in where you can to keep all work areas clean and tidy. And don't rush or run. We're all here to have fun and work with our hands. It goes better when you work at a steady, relaxed pace. Ask questions so you learn the right way to do each job, and keep asking questions until you understand and feel comfortable using the equipment and tools. If you're feeling sick or fatigued, it's fine to just say so. You can take a break or even sign off early. We'll be happy to see you come back another day when you're feeling perky again. If you see an unsafe condition, maybe a power tool that's not working properly, some materials stacked in an unstable way, or an enclosed area with poor ventilation, please go directly to your supervisor and report what you noticed. Accidents are totally preventable if you are alert and aware of the hazards. You want to know what the top 10 hazards are on a construction site? I thought you'd never ask. Number 10 hazard, danger afoot and overhead. A tidy, organized site promotes safety. For one thing, there's nothing to trip over. If you see debris, nails sticking out, uneven surfaces, or holes, please take the time to remove or mark hazards so that others, who might not be as alert as you are, can be safe too. Be aware of what's overhead too, so you don't snag a power line or whack someone working above you, or possibly be the wacky. Number 9 on the hazard scale, electricity.
If you've ever gotten a shock off your cat, you know how powerful electricity can be.
Make sure you disconnect tools before moving or repairing them. Also, check for electrical wiring before drilling or cutting into walls. Number 8 worksite hazard, heat exhaustion.
Most Habitat for Humanity projects take place during the summer months because, the human hand just works better when the fingers aren't frozen solid.
Excessive heat can pose a problem on some summer days. You can help prevent heat stroke by drinking at least 1 bottle of water every hour while working on hot days. If you feel sick or faint, dizzy, overheated, or if you develop a headache or chills, take a break in the first aid station. Also, if you see a coworker who looks off balance or ill, advise them to take a rest. If they just won't listen, let a supervisor know. The last thing we want is a hero who passes out on a ladder holding a circular saw. Number 7 construction hazard, vehicular traffic on site. Some of the work on a Habitat for Humanity site is done by large and very cool equipment like bobcats and forklifts. Keep your eye on moving vehicles and the routes they're using. If you're working in the same area as a construction vehicle, make sure you're visible to the operator. Maintain eye contact, wear brightly colored clothes, and avoid standing where a crane or bucket could swing. I probably don't need to add, never stand underneath a raised bucket or blade, but don't, okay? I know these rules are just common sense, but when you're really enthusiastic about what you're doing, it's possible to be oblivious to your better judgment.
You need a license to run one of those babies, so do not let me catch you gearing up if you don't have the paperwork.
Number 6 on the top 10 list of construction dangers, ladders.
You know the old superstition about walking under ladders? Well, that originated because, a ladder leaning against a wall forms a triangle. And a triangle was always thought to represent a sacred trinity. So for a commoner like myself to walk through a triangle was showing extreme disrespect for the gods, okay? And, on a practical level, extreme disrespect for a volunteer who might be up the ladder with a gallon of paint, and gravity might be involved, you see.
So when setting up a ladder, make sure you make a triangle the gods will be pleased with. Stand with your toes at the base of the ladder, extend your arms straight forward. Your fingertips should now touch the sides of the ladder. If they don't, move the feet of the ladder in or out. And make sure the ladder's feet are on a firm surface, or it'll be tippy, especially with a human on it. Always keep 3 out of 4 appendages on the ladder at one time. If your boots are slimy or muddy, wipe them off before climbing, and do not try to horse something massive up a lightweight ladder. With step ladders, be sure the spreaders are locked in place. Prevent collisions by barricading nearby doorways, and never climb on the top 2 rungs of a stepladder unless you recently won an Olympic medal in gymnastics and you can prove it. Make sure extension ladders extend 3 feet past the top landing, and don't forget to tie off your ladder at the top. Number 5, how not to get in trouble with scaffolding.
If you're asked to help build scaffolding, you're very lucky. Know that stability is the ultimate goal.
Make sure the frame is erected on a firm, level base. If you get down from the scaffolding, don't leave tools behind on the platform because someone may need to roll the scaffolding to another location, and if they get hit by cascading tools, they'll be angry or possibly unconscious. Please note, in most provinces, a tow board is also required to be installed on scaffolds where work is taking place. Oh, and by the way, we're primates, not monkeys, so always use an extension ladder to reach scaffold platforms over 1 stage high. Number 4 on the hazards list, working at heights.
Falls cause more than half of all construction site deaths and over 1/3 of the more severe injuries, but these accidents are actually totally preventable.
Be sure to install proper guardrails on stairs and balconies and landings. Cover and mark floor openings too. Wear a personal fall protection system if you're working higher than 3 meters above the ground or above floor level, or if you're working on an elevated platform other than scaffolding. You'll need to be instructed in using this kind of a system because the harness is completely baffling to the untrained eye. Number 3 construction hazard, power tools. Power tools make working on a construction site so much easier and way more fun. Make sure you are trained to use a tool and ask as many questions as you like so that you feel safe and confident. If you find a problem with a tool's operation or you spot a frayed cord or busted safety guard, please report it to your supervisor. Wear eye protection and earplugs when using power tools or when striking metal on metal. And always use the on-off switch rather than unplugging a tool that's running.
Also, fiercely resist the temptation to pull a power tool around by its cord.
Number 2 on the top 10 list of construction hazards, using hand tools.
You know, most hand tools look a lot safer than power tools because they don't have a loud motor, but don't be fooled because most hand tool accidents are caused by operator error.
Hand tool accidents are usually a result of operator error. To minimize mishaps, check that your tools are in sound condition, hammer heads are snug fitting, and ensure that your utility knife has a sharp blade at all times, and this means changing the blade as soon as it starts to drag or skip. Also, get into the Habitat habit of retracting the blade before setting it down each time. Number 1 construction safety risk, materials handling.
At some point, you'll probably find yourself moving materials around the site. You know, ask for help, okay? Help!
Be aware of those around you and call out to people who can't see you so they're aware of you. Protect your hands with gloves, especially if you're carrying anything sharp, rough, leaky, breakable, or heavy. Keep your load balanced. If you've got to move something heavy, snag a teammate to help you. Now, in the undignified event that the load you're carrying starts to fall, let it fall. We'd rather you let the load hit the ground than break your ankle or slip a disc. When you're lifting, make sure you're warmed up and ready for action. Bend your knees and lift with your legs. Avoid twisting too. Tuck in your pelvis and hug the load.
It feels awkward at first, but it'll protect your back and build rock-hard glutes. Ready? There, was that fun or what? You are now ready to spend your first day on a Habitat build. Now, remember, the most important thing about working safely is just being aware of everything around you and following directions as much as your personality will allow, and also paying attention and ask questions and just really use your common sense. So you're going to have a totally great day. Thanks again for giving your skill and focus to this great organization. You're not just helping build a home here, okay? You're actually building a hopeful future for a wonderful family. So thanks again, have fun, and be safe out there.